So our friend Libby Evans wrote this piece. It's called, can you read the title? I can't see it where I'm at.
Sure. American professionals who advocate for lockdowns don't have to make any real sacrifices.
Yeah. Let's read just a little of this, and you guys can find this online. This is on the Post Millennial. Carter, can you read it?
It
I
is on the
can't see it.
Post-Millennial, yeah. America's professional class and the big companies that employ them are doing just fine. They can continue to advocate for lockdowns because, other than the occasional canceled brunch, they are barely affected by the closures that have shuttered cities' centers and disemployed people across the country. America's professional class and their corporate employers make sacrifices on their own terms while dictating that everyone else do as they are told. Americans in the service and hospitality sectors have been left out in the cold, unable to earn a living because of government shutdowns and corporate layoffs, all while being told they are selfish for wanting to work. Should I keep going?
Yeah, read a little more.
In the New York Times, Eve Pacer, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, wrote that, quote, while the wealthy and the highly educated haven't entirely escaped the soul-crushing effects of the virus, they have also been, on the whole, getting richer. She notes that, quote, it has become clearer than ever that you don't have to be a bad person to live in an immoral system. There's one thing missing in this analysis, and it's this. The immoral system in which these people are living is one in which they are complicit. In fact, they helped create it fully and intentionally. They profit from it financially. And in their moralizing over the sacrifices and the lie that we are all, quote, in it together, they profit from it spiritually. When companies were told to close and to send staff home to work, America's professionals complied. They went home, they took up their laptops, made space on the dining room table, set their Amazon Prime accounts to automatic reorders of toilet paper, and got to work.
Yeah. So I know I just wanted to read a little bit of that, and you guys can find that on the Post Millennial. It's by Libby Evans. And somebody in the chat, this is not a super chat, but AT says, this is not news. We've known this for months. Yeah, it's not news. It's just that a lot of people have never considered this this
Right.
whole time. And it struck me, I don't know if you certainly will remember, Carter, but back in April, around about April, I was having a real problem feeling empathy for the people who support lockdowns. And this piece reinvigorated that in me. I'm struggling right now with empathy.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. In fact, I decided to just go take a look at this because here, I'll put this up on the screen here. Where's my mouse? Here it is. Let's just take a look at the NASDAQ. And here's why. Most of these people are tech people. They have 401ks. They have stocks, a lot of tech company stocks. The performance of the tech stocks in 2020 is a good indicator for how these people, how their 2020 has gone, as opposed to maybe a restaurant owner or someone who works in the service industry. Here's the NASDAQ. It's mostly tech stocks. The two I'm looking at are NASDAQ, which is mostly tech, and NASDAQ Composites, which you can see tracks it pretty closely, which is more specifically IT heavy. So NASDAQ was back at 8,641 at the end of last year. And now it's at 12,668. It's up almost 50%. So their year's been good.
Yeah.
Their year's been good. They haven't gotten laid off. They haven't lost paychecks. And their portfolios are good. And, a lot of them, they owned Airbnb and DoorDash, and they IPO'd this year. A lot of these people are, we've talked about the wealth transfer between from smaller businesses to larger businesses like Amazon and that kind of stuff. Well, that's all good for these people. That's fine. They're having a good year. In fact, this morning I had NPR on, and they were doing their fundraising drive, and they were talking about how, because I'm in the Bay Area, they're like, so many people have had a great year, tech stock this and this and that, and this IPO and blah, blah, blah. Like, now's a great time to give an endowment or to contribute. And like, they're trying to target people who are flush with cash. Yeah. And this is a time when obviously most of the country isn't flush with cash. So by the way, that's the reason that the word Marie is on the back. This quote is usually attributed to Marie Antoinette, although I don't think there's any evidence that it actually was Marie Antoinette, but it was originally French, right? It was let them eat cake. It's that attitude. That's the attitude that the upper middle class leftist information workers have about COVID. It's the let them eat cake attitude. It's like, well, oh, they're suffering. Well, work from home. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess you should sell some of your Tesla. Like, that's their attitude. That's their attitude.
This is, I know that there are people in every income group and every class who support the lockdown. And then I know there are those in every income group who don't. And it's not easy. You can't just say, "Oh, upper class people support it," and working class people. I know you don't like the phrase word, but working class people don't. You can't just say that. But what bothers me the most are the elitist upper class people who support it because it doesn't touch them. And I specifically was thinking of some former friends of mine in Austin who unfriended me in April, back when I was having trouble finding empathy for people like them, because they're the type who were posting stuff. They were posting about protests about the lockdown protests.
Yep.
And they were calling those people names and calling them un-American and making fun of them and calling them stupid and incorrectly assuming that they're all Trump voters and calling them selfish. And meanwhile, because I know these people, and I know they're elitist upper class people who live in $1 million home and drive a Tesla and order in their sushi every night, to go pick it up in their Tesla. I was so disgusted. How dare you? They're the type of people who say, "Oh, just shut up and stay home and enjoy your Netflix vacation." I've had people say that on social media more than once.
Right.
And it's like, wow, that's very telling about what this is like for you. This is a Netflix vacation for you, still making your full salary, sitting on your bum, doing social justice work at some digital company, right? Social justice work. And then meanwhile, posting memes about how you're standing on the side of the oppressed. You care about the oppressed. You don't care about these people. We're about to head into, I saw a statistic, we're heading into 2021. Over 12 million people are going to be over $6,000 behind in rent. You don't care about those people.
And that's unless you're in San Francisco, that's several months rent.
Yeah. You don't care about the suicides. You don't care about the increasing depression, anxiety, the addiction rates going up. You don't care about the people who haven't been able to go get their routine medical treatment for other issues, the people who died because they haven't gone in to get treatment for other issues. You don't care about all that. And you don't care about the people who've lost their jobs, the people that are losing their homes. And you pretend to be on the side of caring. You disgust me. They post these. I said in a post about them because I was thinking about that Bible verse in Matthew. When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites who stand on the street corners praying so that they might be seen. These people are like those OG hypocrites, those OG virtue signalers in Matthew, except instead of praying on the street corner, standing on the street corner so that they might be seen praying, they're posting mask selfies so that they might be seen caring. I care. I'm in a mask. What about you guys? Stay home. Stay safe.
Right.
So that you're a hypocrite.
They are. That they are. I mean, I don't know why you're reminding me of this, but you're reminding me of the Tom Cruise rant that did you see that recently?
Yeah.
Right. He screamed at a bunch of people on set because they weren't social distancing properly. And the interesting thing about that to me wasn't just that he was, being a mask hole, but he said something I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, "We're giving you jobs. Like we're the ones getting, you know, letting you live, like giving you this employment. You know, you need to have, basically you're not contrite enough and you need to obey and I'll fire you. And, you know, I was thinking.
No, wait. Let me jump in there.
What?
Because he said, he was talking about all the people back in Hollywood, the little people. We are giving them jobs. And if you get this. Oh, okay.
He was saying we're giving the little people jobs.
Right. And if you get this production shut down because you're not following rules, all those people are out of a job.
Right.
Okay.
I guess. I guess what's interesting to me about that is that argument works when they want it to work, and it doesn't work whenever they have some sort of political agenda where you gotta like punish companies somehow, right? He totally gets the economics of the rich people need to do blah 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 so that other people have jobs and run businesses, but he wouldn't get that economics at all if it didn't benefit him. For everything else, they complain about like, oh, companies mistreat people, or they do this, or they need to be, you know, steal money from, you know, we should take money from richer people. We should take money from companies. Companies need to be taxed more. All the politics of Hollywood is anti-corporate unless they're the corporate. And then suddenly it's like, well, look, we're giving people jobs. We're great for the economy. Like we should be able to, it's such a double standard. I don't understand. I mean, I get why it's a double standard because they're assholes. But yeah, I don't know. Something rubbed me the wrong way about that, because I wish that Tom Cruise had been, okay, if that's his stance, why haven't you been defending capitalism for the last several decades when you have the spotlight? Why haven't you been up saying, hey, business owners provide jobs. Business owners should be supported. Business owners are important. Oh, no, it's only when it's our business, then we get credit. When it's our business, then we get credit for giving people jobs.
Well, I'm a little more. I guess I don't have the same opinion about that as you, because
no, okay.
Only because I don't like asking people, why aren't you doing this other thing, you know, or why aren't you saying this?
Well, because they're saying the opposite. I mean, it's okay. Just like, these are the same people that push socialism, unless it's their company, and then suddenly capitalism is valuable and provides jobs to people. It's just like they're the same people that push against, you know, anything positive to do, anything good about supporting companies. Like they're the same people that would argue, you know, companies should have to pay more taxes and companies should have these regulations. They're the people that vote for crap like AB5 in California. They're the same people that argue against Uber, or like all that stuff. And then when it comes to them, we're supposed to recognize how magnanimous they are for giving people jobs and running a company. Like, okay, thanks, Tom Cruise. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't bother you like it bothers me, but it bothers me. It's a little bit hypocritical.
I kind of liked it, even though he was arguing on behalf of enforcing social distancing. I kind of liked it where his heart is at about the, you know, if we get shut down, all these people are
I couldn't tell if he was angry about because he was worried that they were going to get shut down, or if he was personally pissed off about the lack of social distancing. That I couldn't
tell. He's probably, I think I've read somewhere, he's a germaphobe. Is he?
Wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I don't know anything about Tom Cruise, really, so who knows. I do remember didn't he jump on Oprah's couch once? And he's like a Scientologist, so.
Scientologist.
Yeah.